Mm. Hey, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Let's get open for business and let's wake up the football gods this morning. And it is a big day in the NFL. Today is the release of the NFL schedule at tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern p.m. on NFL Network. And I got to tell you, last year there was a bunch of leaks and things, and you kind of got everything together well by about 6 o'clock in the evening of what the Cowboys schedule was. But there's been a lot of misinformation out there. In fact, I don't know if it's by the NFL directly, but there's been so much hints. Originally, the whole process was to be Thursday. Now it became Wednesday night. You heard Odell Beckham talking about the Jets and seeing you on opening game. We've had Rich Eisen basically asking DeMarcus Lawrence about if he was going to be ready by the time they hoist the flag in New England. We've heard about, because it's the 100-year anniversary, the Green Bay Packers versus the Bears opening night. And last night, at least I definitely got duped along with other people. There was a partial leak that we did a live stream on that a guy since pulled it down and said, yeah, it was fake, that had us playing the Giants. Now, I've heard that we're playing with the Redskins opening night, and somebody else has actually said we're going to be playing the Bears opening night. I have no idea. And I dare say that the NFL is getting exactly what it wants, a big buildup for the release of the schedule. And I started thinking, boy, if it is the Redskins, that would be an interesting way to kick off the season, because that's literally in my backyard. And it's making me want to go out and start getting the smoker and stuff together right now and start getting in training to play the Washington Redskins, because whatever that game is going to be, we are going to try and have the biggest tailgate ever. I'm talking about ever. Last year when we did it, I cooked 8 pork shoulders. 8 pork shoulders. Had 20 pounds of hamburger, had a big-ass pot of chili, and 40 pounds of chicken wings. I'm hoping we can double that this year, but we'll see. But anyway, tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern, we'll be definitely live streaming, talking about that. With it, it'll be exciting to figure out when and where we're going to be playing. Will we be playing New England late in the cold and everything else? Will we get them early in the season and so on? Who will we playing for Thanksgiving? When will the Redskins be going to Dallas? All this stuff. So tune in tonight. We'll definitely have fun with that. Also, today at 12:30 this afternoon, the Cowboys will have their pre-draft press conference, talking about who knows what. So, of course, the draft they'll be talking about. So that happens at 12:30 today, as well as Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott, Stephen Jones is saying that they're beginning to work on his contract as well as Amari Cooper's, which is good. It'd be nice to get this stuff done and over with so we can just stop talking about it. And to me, I said this a while ago, because when Stephen Jones talked about doing a contract during the middle of the season, people were laughing and saying, no, you wait. Here's the problem. We waited. Now Russell Wilson has reset the market, $35 million. I think the over or under is $30 million. I think it's going to be $30 million a year, and I think it's going to be a 6-year deal. It's just my thinking, which comes out to $180 million. Which sounds like a lot of money, because it is a lot of money. But if you wait, because some people say, make him play out his rookie contract, franchise tag him, a couple of years, and, screw him. But here's the thing. Hypothetically speaking, Stephen Jones said, well, when you're talking about Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers, those guys have rings. And I will also say that Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers' rings also were helped by defenses. Seattle had the number 1 ranked defense. Aaron Rodgers had the 5th ranked defense. And since those two teams' defenses are no longer the way they were, they haven't won other Super Bowls. I dare say if we had had the number 1 ranked defense last year, we would have been Super Bowl champions. If we had stopped Jared Goff on third down, I believe we win that game. Just the way I think. There's no way to find out if I'm right or wrong, but that's the way I think. That if you're given those opportunities, you shut those guys down, you're going to have more opportunities to win. I'm not saying that Russell Wilson isn't great. I'm not saying that Aaron Rodgers isn't great. But it's more than just having a great quarterback, because there's a lot of teams with great quarterbacks right now that didn't win the Super Bowl last year. You can look at Matty Ice. You can look at Ben Roethlisberger. You can look at Aaron Rodgers. They didn't even make the playoffs. But here's the thing, in my mind, I always try and, when I give you guys something, I give some basis behind it. I don't just make up stuff. I at least look at the numbers. But football is harder than predicting the weather, because you can have everything that seems right and it completely goes wrong. There's no way in the world that anybody thought that Dak Prescott would start 48 games from day one with Tony Romo on the team. Nobody. As a fourth-round draft pick. But there's some things that you can kind of follow along that trend in the NFL. Sophomore slumps. Generally speaking, the second year of an NFL quarterback is harder than the first. It's just kind of the way it is. Dak Prescott, well, that definitely happened. Losing offensive linemen, losing Zeke Elliott, having Scott Linehan as coach, he had that sophomore slump. But another trend that I'm learning about is year number 4 for quarterbacks. Because here's what's interesting when you get to the fourth year quarterbacks. And this happens more times than not. Now, part for Aaron Rodgers is because he didn't really get on the field. But Aaron Rodgers' fourth year, bam. Let's bring this up a little closer. Bam. 4,000 yards, 28 TDs. How about Ben Roethlisberger? Okay, wait, what is going on here? Why? Boom. Bam. Went from 18 TDs to 32. First 2 years, 17, 18, 32. Year number 4. How about Tony Romo? Now, Tony Romo's first 2 years, he got to sit on the bench and learn. But you look at year number 4, TDs. I believe that was the most in his career. Year number 4. Troy Aikman, who the Cowboys weren't sure was going to be the guy. Year 4, his only season that he threw for over 20 touchdown passes. 23. And mind you, too, Hall of Famer Troy Aikman had a number 1 defense as well. Just saying. But year number 4. Dan Marino. Let's look at Dan Marino. Bam. Dan Marino had a great second season as well. He didn't have the rookie slump. He was the anti-one. But still, second best season of his career. 4 TDs. Brett Favre there. I'm going to watch Brett Favre. 33 TDs. Went from 18, 19 to 33. Bam. Year number 4. Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson, who, when Dak Prescott was in the draft, I compared Russell Wilson and Dak Prescott to be very much alike. In fact, if you look at their careers right now, bye, honey. Love you. See you tonight. Russell Wilson was not a first round or second round draft pick. He was later in the draft. Russell Wilson, who had a great defense, number 1 defense first 3 years. First 3 years weren't anything super spectacular. Again, they had a great defense. 26 TDs, 10 interceptions, 3,100 yards, 3,300 yards the next year, 26 TDs, 9 interceptions. The third year, 3,400 yards, and 20 TDs. That's average. That's about average. But lo and behold, that fourth year, basically when the defense wasn't as good, they lost beast mode, he was forced to have to throw more. 34, jumped up to 34 TDs, year number 4. So as we look at our team, understand, because a lot of people will say, well, Dak Prescott's numbers, they're not that great. Well, it's kind of a similar situation of Russell Wilson. We have a really good defense, and we have Zeke Elliott, like beast mode for Seattle. And so what we do is we control the clock. Now, we don't know how Dak would be in a truly passing offense because the Dallas Cowboys haven't had a truly passing offense, let's say, ever. They're not New England. They're not Pittsburgh. There are teams that light the ball up. We're not that, or at least we haven't been thus far. Now that we got Randall Cobb, we'll have to wait and see. But if you look at Dak's numbers, boom, very much like Russell Wilson's. 23 to 26 is what Russell Wilson had his first year. 26 Russell had his second year. Dak's 22. And of course, 22 to Russell Wilson's 20. Yardage-wise, Dak actually threw for more yards than Russell did his first 3 years. And if this pattern holds, where we're talking about the year number 4, and that's where our power of 4 comes in. I call it Dak, everything to the 4th power. It's his 4th year. His mother's birthday, the 4th. His number, 4th round draft pick. You see the pattern here? And if all of this holds, let's say he gets 30 TD passes and 4,000 yards. Let's say our defense takes another step forward. You could see the Dallas Cowboys in Miami. Just saying. I'd like to know who you'd like the Dallas Cowboys to play to open the season with. Would you want it to be the Redskins, the Giants, New England, or the Bears? I don't know. I seem to think that I don't really think it's going to be the Giants or the Redskins because both of those teams are kind of in the toilet. I think what the NFL wants to have is a lot of marquee games. I could see New England, Dallas, because you could say that's the battle for America. But we'll have to wait and see. We'll find out tonight. But as always, friends, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. I'll see you soon.